What's up, guys?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
How are you guys doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
We could have a pretty good game of Dungeons and Dragons if you want.
Yeah. Set it up.
My name's Beau Smith.
What's it like being Doc Holliday?
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. I've been a huge fan of him since I can remember as a kid, and then I'm also a huge science fiction fan, and I'm a huge comic book fan, so this was literally a dream for me. I remember telling them in the room when I tested for the show, everybody wants something different, and for me, this was it. I wanted to be here. I'm at WonderCon. I'm a guy with my backpack buying comic books, and now I'm here. So for me, I'm living the dream, man. I get to play fucking Holiday. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's awesome. It's a dream.
You sort of campaigned for the role, right? It was kind of sort of a big deal for you to...
We've met before.
Where we met?
Yeah. Where was it? Where did we meet?
It was in Calgary.
Oh, okay, cool. I just knew someone else was going to have to really do one hell of a job, because I really wanted this part, and I thought that I could bring something fun to the character. He's been done so well before that I didn't want to do someone else's version. I just wanted to try and have fun and do my version.
Did you do any research, like historical research, or did you stick strictly to the...
I did. I made sure. I mean, the mustache that I grew took about 4 months because he historically had a big bushy mustache. And whatever you call these things. Yeah, he had that too.
Yeah, he had that little...
The mustache I could live with, but having that in the regular world, I was the hipster of hipsters. When we're filming and I have the hat and the guns, it's one thing, but when you're at Starbucks with that thing, it's a weird feeling. But yeah, I made sure that I had his gun, especially the Colt Thunder, and that was the gun that he had used. And it was cool because when I called production, and I was like, "You think we can get a Colt Thunder? Because I've got this replica that I've got. I'm practicing with it at home." Like, "Yeah, we're on it, buddy. That was his gun." And I'm like, "Yeah." So as soon as I knew we were all on the same page of what we wanted to do, yeah, it was cool. Also, when we picked hats, it was funny. There was like 10 hats, but it was like we all knew it was the one hat. We all knew it was that one hat, but it's like we got to look through I got to try all these other hats on. But we already knew that was his hat. That was Doc's hat. All of us agreed. Me, Emily, everybody in that room. But I tried the other ones on anyway. But it was like the hat was the hat.
Emily talked a little bit about the sisterly dynamic between Waverly and Wynonna. I was wondering if you could kind of talk about sort of the push and pull between you two and how that kind of develops in the show.
Yeah, it's really special, the way that Emily has written it. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to it because I actually don't have a sibling, although I now do because of Mel is my sister pretty much. And I think it definitely holds the show together. Like you find the heart of the show because of course you're rooting for them to, conquer things together, but also be able to find a way with each other because, as most sisterly relationships can be, there are struggles and slight jealousies and all of those sorts of things, which I hope and I think we have managed to portray quite well. So, I'm really excited about the sisterly relationship, definitely.
Being that you had a replica of a Colt, so have you done firearms before? Or?
I mean, I had definitely done a little bit of firearms training before. TAR-21 Israeli assault rifle I had gotten pretty good with. I mean, it's normally Glocks. A lot of 9mm, a lot of Glocks, but this is it's a whole different beast.
Light guns.
Yeah. And the replica, I was at home flipping and flapping the replica. Then when I got there and they gave me the real, because I had the real guns. It's not the same thing, right? At all. But we went and trained and we definitely did a lot of shooting at the range. Yeah. I like it a little too much.
Fun time.
Yeah. You have those, just putting them on.
How quick is your draw?
Pretty quick. It's pretty quick. I mean, they definitely make it look super quick, but I definitely tried to get as comfortable as possible. That was really important for me.
I think you got faster as the show went on.
I really hope so. I was always conscious of that. I mean, he's one of the most iconic gunslingers of all time. I wanted to bring that respect to it. Yeah.
What can you tell us about the interaction between Doc and Wynonna, being that she is the granddaughter of Wyatt Earp?
Yeah.
Is he protective of her?
I mean, it's tough for me to say how much I can get into that without giving too much away at different times, because Doc lives in the gray area, you know? I mean, we were talking about it before, I don't think even the bad guys in the show, are they bad guys, or are the good guys good guys? But Doc especially kind of lives in a gray world where sometimes our relationship's one way and sometimes it's another way. And sometimes I can't say anything. But does he have a special place in his heart for her, being that it's Wyatt Earp's great-great-great-great-granddaughter? I think so, right? I mean, Doc Holliday definitely didn't have too many friends, and neither did Wyatt. So, there's that. Yeah, we'll see.
So, no, go for it.
What was the coolest part about filming a show like this? It's not like a Western show, but it's also not like a science fiction show. So how is it like different from the shows that you've worked on?
You got to play every day. It was just having fun. You know, because as an actor, a lot of the time you have to. Everybody wants everything real, and for some reason, everybody thinks real now is being like throw it away, deadpan. Don't say do less. Or in a show like this, you can be more. You can be characters. You can be crazy, and it was fun. Every day was just fun.
But I think you nailed it when you said it's a comic book. So you're just lifting it from the page, and it's just, you said, it's bigger than life. So that's what makes it different than other shows. You get to create a character, and it's from a comic. So.
Yeah, from a comic book. So
And it's an incredible world that they've created, and like constantly you'd be getting these new scripts and being like, oh, there's another part of the world. So like constantly like learning about that was so much fun. And then suddenly like you may not have had many interactions with one character, but then Emily's so clever, she'll just like tie it all together, and you're like, oh, so I'd say for me that was what was so special about this show is playing within that world.
There's no surprise we're here. Like if I walk through the halls, I'm gonna pass 3 Deadpools, a Green Lantern, and Aquaboy. You know what I mean? Because it's play and people get to dress up and have fun, and that's what they come here for. That's what we did every day.
Next year there'll be
for
Doc
6 months, I got to
everywhere.
dress up and play, and you're getting these scripts, and you don't know what's coming next, and it was always crazy. And he's amazing. And I don't know what he's going to put me through or hell, and then I have crazy stuff with her, and then Wynonna, so it's just playing, all the time playing, just get to be a little kid.
Emily created a mythology and within the story of the rules that are at play with the Peacemaker. It was Wyatt Earp's gun. So the rules that go along with that. We're thrown into this world that's all make-believe and made up. And then, like you said, every script came out, and you realized your character had this going on that you didn't know previously. So it was always kind of a mystery for us too, what was going to happen next.
What's cool?
Your character.
What's cool is that we're all so different as well. Like the leads of the show they couldn't be more different, I would say. Like you've got myself and then this guy, but we have loads of stuff together, and it's like seeing the dynamics between the characters. So interesting. Yes, which you don't usually get in a lot of shows.
So, Michael, what can we tell us about your character and your role in the show?
I think Tim covered a lot of it. It's a show about shades of gray. I'm the token bad guy of the show, you think, but as you keep watching the show, you start to understand Bobo's mission. Why he's doing what he's doing, and it leaves the audience questioning: is he a bad guy? He believes what he's doing is right. Just like Doc Holliday's character. He's the good guy, but is he? I think that was my most favorite part of playing this. I've played bad guys in the past, everything from a serial killer to convicts or whatever, but this character was one of the most fun to play because you could just create it from scratch and just do whatever you wanted to do. And we had a set that provided that environment of play, make up something. A lot of sets you go on to, you don't feel like you can try new things. When I did my scenes with Tim, we were just trying
We had some amazing directors as well,
Yeah,
which enabled that.
we were encouraged
Power
to create our characters as we were playing them. And each time we filmed a scene, you learn something new about your character that you had to, continue on in the next scene. So I think he's a different kind of bad guy than you've seen in other shows. I said at another table, he never touches a gun, in this show. He's a bad guy without a gun. Or the good guy, well, everybody has a gun. All the good characters have guns. The bad guys don't. At least my bad guy. But yeah, you can expect a lot of twists and turns and unknowns. Yeah.
I see you have the comic book in front of you, of course.
Yeah, we got them today.
Have you guys read it, or do you don't want to read it, kind of, and play your?
I couldn't wait to read it. Yeah, I couldn't wait to read it. We had copies of the Yeti Wars kind of in the trailer, in the makeup trailer, but this hadn't come out yet. So we were waiting for this to come out for a long time, and Beau came to set and got us all excited, and I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait.
And you learn so much. Like, I didn't know I had a brother. I played my character completely different.
We know that Wynonna does a lot of action scenes with guns and stuff like that. How much do you guys get in on that action and the demon interaction?
I have an amazing sawn-off shotgun, which was a lot of fun to play with. But you probably do more action, I would say, out of all of us. How about yourself?
Oh, well, we can't say too much, but we've definitely been...
I slap a lot of people around.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure both of us went 20 feet in the opposite direction one day.
Oh, there was...
A lot of stuff happens.
I put on a harness.
Lots of action.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like I was saying, I mean, the action stuff isn't as scary, or shooting guys isn't as scary. For my character, don't forget, I'm the only one who's from the olden days. So for me, which was scary was like getting on an elevator or using a cell phone, because I didn't understand. Those are the things that are scary to Doc Holliday. He doesn't know what a selfie is.
Your guy was from the olden days, hidden.
Exactly.
For a long
Cursed.
time.
I'm not scared to shoot guns, but I'm scared of a selfie. Yeah.
Who isn't?
The magical machine.
But yeah, we got to do a lot of stuff, and you tell it better, but tell them about Steve.
We had an amazing stunt coordinator named Steve McMichaels on the show who handled all the action scenes and the stunts and the fights, because there's a lot of it in this show. And Steve, he's been in the business forever. I met him maybe 20 years ago, and he's done the Hobbit movies, and he was Hugh Jackman's stuntman for Wolverine. So we had the best of the best on this show. And
He's awesome.
He brought all his talent to the show and just made the action sequences.
And just so safe.
So safe.
We felt so safe. So
And we were not doing safe things.
No.
I've done
However,
shows where
felt
people
safe.
get hurt bad. I don't think anyone was injured on the show, which is good. And that's because of Steve. You gotta give him props.
So you guys all do your own stunts?
I didn't think I was going to, and because it's awesome, because every time I did a stunt was amazing too, because there'd be another guy walking around with a mustache and long hair and a cowboy hat, and I'm like, because they gotta dress someone up like you, but to be honest, you didn't get to work much, because once we're in it, and they were so good, and I was so trusting of what they were gonna do, I was just like, all right, blow me up, let's go. And it was,
he doesn't get blown up.
We didn't fly 20 feet into the sky. That wasn't me. We didn't do that stuff. But yeah, we had a great team on board.
Great team.
We have to mention them in a show like this.
You're so right. Very lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you talk a little bit about the Alberta landscape?
Oh, yeah.
When I
Part
was
of the
there, it was
character.
amazing.
I say it was one of the stars of the show, to be honest. And it was still kind of, it wasn't the worst, but it gets pretty cold out there, right? But when you see it and you see the snow, because a lot of times we film the snow, it's just such a great back. And like the winter, the chill of it adds, it's like a character to the show. It just brings so much danger when you have his presence, and then the darkness, and then the snow, and the coldness, and the night. It adds a different layer to the show, and that it's kind of its own character. I think it's one of the stars of the show, to be
Yeah,
honest.
and it's filmed so cinematically in these massive landscapes that are just so stunning. You realise why we filmed it in that way.
And it's great, and you can see they kind of put them in the shots. Whereas, like,
Clever.
why? If we're gonna be out there, let's get it. Let's
Yeah.
have it. You know what I mean? So yeah, got cold though.
But it was great because you didn't, a lot of shows you go on a set or a studio and even a green screen nowadays. Here we didn't have to, just put us in front of a mountain. Half the acting is done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So you talked a bit about the stunts. Was there a favorite one that you enjoyed actually getting to do instead of the double?
A stunt?
Yeah. That you can tell us about?
I get into a fight with a character, and it was the most epic thing I've ever been a part of in acting for 19 years. It was crazy. I was super nervous at first for what I was getting into, and the other person I was fighting is really good at stunts. So I was like, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I just trusted, and we...
So handsome, isn't it?
We choreographed this thing forever, and it was amazing.
Great recovery.
It was a full day of just
boys
yeah,
being
boys
boys.
being boys. Yeah, boys being boys.
I was
like you're having no
excited.
fun on set.
No, that's what every day. I can't think of one day where I wasn't looking forward to whatever scene I was going to be. Because even when I'm doing nothing, I'm still dressed.
Well, you had a childhood dream. Like Doc
Doc
Holliday
it was,
as an adult.
It was amazing. And all the characters, I also said, like, their casting that they did, all the characters, background too.
Yeah, you're so right.
It was impeccable. You believed every person who would be in that town was from that town. They all looked dangerous. They all had this look. They all have all the characters, all the actors they brought were amazing. It was every day you got to play and have fun, and there's demon revenants running around that can only be killed by one gun.
Just to say, it's not just a young boy's dream. Like, I had so much fun. Like, I was like bumming around in like this little 90s Jeep. Like, come on, this is work. Like, you get paid for this. I have to keep pinching myself. Yeah.
It was awesome.
We're just excited.
Memorable scene.
Memorable scene. God, so many with you at the end.
That was a good one.
That for me was like, although I shouldn't maybe say so much.
We have a scene.
Like, we don't have a scene. Scene.
So how come they get a comic book but you don't?
Oh, I do. I have like a stash at home. We went to the IDW offices like 2 days ago. Just like.
Personal connection.
I'm carrying this one because I didn't have the ash can, and I'm such a nerd. I had to have the ash can too. I've got a bunch of these, but I needed the ash can. I wanted to keep it even more mint.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Are you guys fans of Western genre movies?
Big time. And I mean the Sergio Leone's ones especially. And,
Young Guns 1 and 2.
oh yeah, Young Guns 1 and 2.
That's what I grew up watching.
And I'm a huge comic book fan. I've been collecting comic books since I was a kid, so I couldn't wait to be like I was at IDW 2 days ago, just dying. I got to meet Eastman. I mean, we just met Jim Lee before, and I was like,
freaking out.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Just I was like, and they were like, "What's wrong with Tim?" And I'm like,
Can I have a photo?
and I'm like, oh. Yeah. And so, it's been pretty cool.
You're a fan of Six Gun, right?
Yeah, I actually gave Beau a copy, and it was just I just wanted him to read it. I thought he'd like it, so I really like Six Gun. Six Gun? I don't know. Not that I got to see.
I think we're
Thank
all-
you.
I think we're all set.
Yeah.